What's good, everyone? Back at it again, day 3. So today I'm thinking about starting off with just more basic drawings, like shapes and stuff like that. I really want to work on like different angles and perspectives, maybe. And then I want to finish off with maybe trying to draw like a basic stick figure-ish like person, kind of like just trying to get into anatomy, kind of. So just gonna see how it goes. But yeah, I kind of changed my mind. Yeah, yesterday I was like, yeah, let's draw something like Street Fighter. I'm like, nah, let me actually get down to it. So, but yeah, today's pretty cool. So actually, I started a little bit earlier with the video because before I was gonna wait until like at night. Usually that's how I always do it, but um, my professor canceled class, so I'm like, that worked out for me. So that was pretty cool. But otherwise, yeah, nothing much. Still thinking if I still wanna maybe do Twitch. Maybe not. That'll actually be the opposite way. I know for sure I'm still gonna stick with YouTube. That's 100%. So, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more comfortable around the camera. Um, I want to say like definitely like even still now, but like the previous 2 days, it was like kind of nerve wracking a little bit. I don't know why. Like I'm not saying I'm camera shy. I mean my face isn't even in the camera, but it's just I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I will say one thing though. I might actually start doing my videos during the day. Cause yeah, usually I would do it like at night, like 9 p.m. or something. I'd just be tired out. Like yesterday, I had controls and electric systems. It was like from like 6 to 8. Now I was tired after that. But yeah, otherwise, nothing really interesting else is going on. We'll say yeah. Yesterday I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'll draw Street Fighter, and now I was like, okay, but like what kind, right? Because there's like 6 different Street Fighters, 7 I believe if you count Alpha. I gotta say like my favorite artist from Street Fighter has to be like Bangus, maybe. Like his work on like Marvel versus Capcom, X-Men versus Street Fighter, that sort of stuff. That was pretty dope. Um, but yeah, otherwise I think like he's like my uno, like just my favorite one. I will say though, I like the third strike art style just because like the graffiti feels real like urbanish, I guess you could say. Urban. I think that's the right. I'm hoping that's the right word. Who knows? Somebody will correct me. Um, but yeah, really liked how that looked. Um, and actually, I was gonna draw Akuma because that's actually my favorite character. Like that dude's a dog, man. Like that dude is a demon. Like I remember when I saw a thing when he blew up like an island just off the womb, and I'm like, oh yeah, that dude's cracked. That dude's cracked. Like he's crazy. Um, like, and I know it's like non-canon, but like Oscar's Wrath, like that dude fought him on the moon. Like I'm not finding that dude. Like he was crazy. He's a demon. So but yeah, I think I really want to work more. I mean, I kind of like how my shapes are now, but I think what I really want to do is start thinking about how I want these shapes to connect on the body, right? Because I mean, I'm gonna start off with 2D, of course, but when I get in like 3D, like this should be kind of like an arm, right? Kind of. Here's me. You see, every single time I go off script with a face, it's just, it never works out. But yeah. So I'm not gonna make this video as long as like the last one. I was like 44 minutes, and I'm like, I don't know. I was just kind of in a moment doing it. But yeah, and I always stick with cubes. I don't know why. I'm just like comfortable doing that the most. So I will say though, like I'm definitely feeling a little bit more. I mean, I know you'll still see all like the chicken scratch and all that, but I feel a little bit more confident with my lines. Just doing them. I mean, they're not coming out as straight as I wish they were, but it's not like the worst. So I'm definitely still gonna work on like shading and stuff like that, but I think I just really want to get more of like the general shapes. And I think I definitely need to increase my time when it comes to drawing. Like I don't do it as often as I should, which is a shame because if I'm really gonna draw my graphic novels and comics and stuff like that, I really need to start doing it more often. Man, I can't wait for that new Monster Hunter to drop. It's gonna be cold. I'm a longsword and a hunting horn main, so that's it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna say that. See, also another thing I'm trying to do is really like work on like the bends, uh, in the shape kind of, because I don't want to get too comfortable with just doing like straight lines. Like sometimes I'm gonna have to draw objects obviously that have more curves and not. So I think tomorrow I might just have like kind of like a chill video. I'll probably just draw something random. I don't know if I should do like a like actually trying to I guess you would call it tracing, but I think that's more. I say tracing is more like when you're just drawing it straight up. Like I have like another thing underneath it. I'm like actually tracing it, but I guess like if you're actually looking at the picture and doing it, like I did the one point or Saitama one, I might do like another tracing. I don't know. I'm be honest. I never thought about it like that. Uh, so usually like when I draw, at least like the bottom of like cylinders and stuff like that, I always go like pretty heavy on like the circles, like the base, like this for example. But I mean, I guess on this one I kind of went light, but I just never thought about making it so narrow, and it doesn't look bad either. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, this is just, I don't know. Randomness as always. Random. I will say though, like even though I'm getting like no views on these videos, I'm perfectly fine with this. Like just posting every day because I use it as like kind of like a thing that keeps me moving. Cause like what will happen is like every year I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna start learning how to draw, and I'll do it for like a week, and then I'll like forget about it. And I'm trying to change that. So I'm like, I think it's good because it like keeps me going. Cause now I'm like, oh, now I got to do it. I mean, I don't really have to. I could really just end it here, but I don't know. I really mess with it. Keeps me going. But yeah, what I might do too is like, if I actually do end up getting better at like drawing and stuff like that, I'll probably I might actually make like a playlist video of like, oh, this is how you draw, or something like that. Like I'm not really good at it per se. I know like a couple things, and none of it is really to, I would say, to like a level that I'm happy at, right? Because some people will probably look at this like, I have some people that just don't know how to draw at all, and they're like, dude, you can draw, and I'm like, I can't. And people that actually can draw know that, like like they'll be like, oh yeah, like I can see like you know how to draw a little something, but you're not really good at it. But yeah, and like I think the main reasons is like I can always make the script for the graphic novel and comics and stuff like that, but it's like they'll always be like, oh, you can like hire somebody to draw for you, but it's not the same. Like there's a certain way I want it drawn. There's a certain way I want the characters to react. Like I know panel from panel, like how I want it to look. And honestly, I was thinking I might want to get into animation, but at the same time, I might just get people to, do animate. Like this is how I want to do it. Before I even make the animated series, I want to make like a short animated video to advertise the comic. Like not even the three graphic novels, that's just gonna be its own thing. But when the comic series starts, like maybe not when it first starts, but maybe if it's like a few volumes in, and then what I'll do is that I want to like make a team, and then we can animate a short video, and I have the perfect idea for it, but I just can't share it because it's giving away too much, and it's slick. And that's the thing; it's so slick. It's like I can't share it, man. But trust me, I'm gonna get it done. I just don't know. It's just a matter of how well I can draw. Like the graphic novels, I might not care about as much. I just need to be solid. And when the comic starts, I don't think I really need to be super well too, but I need to see some growth. Like, cause my art style it's a weird mix. So I wanted to mix like manga and cartoon, but I didn't want it to be too what you call it. Like, look at this. I can't draw fingers for the life of me. Like, the moment I actually start. But I wanted to do like a mix between like OG comic books, because like I think the newer ones have like a cool art style, but it's not the same. Like it's not like Jim Lee, Mark. I want to say, is it Silverstein or is it something like that? I want to say like those dudes like during the 80s and early 90s. That was like peak comic book drawings. And honestly though, it's hard drawing like that because like when you really look at it, they did like a lot of like chicken scratch like this. Like this is how they would draw like a whole face. They just do this like, you know, like there goes like an eye or something, and then they would just like it was so much. So like I'm not trying to do all that, but I do want some like some detail from that. I want to add like manga, animes like DBZ. Like I think the perfect person to like describe is kind of like Yusuke Murata, right? Because I think he mixes. I mean, like he mainly sticks with like anime drawings and stuff, and he just uses like basic. Well, not I want to say basic, but he uses like human anatomy, but he has like such a weird blend where with his style to like where it feels almost like a mix between like comic and manga. And I kind of want something like that, but a little bit different at the same time because I want. I think I know what I really want to do. I want to make the faces to where they're kind of like anime cartoonish, but at the same time they're not. How can I say this? It's not like super. Like I don't want it to be just be straight up like anime face like this or something, and it's just like oh I like no I'm not trying to have like one of these and like nah that's a no. But I'm also not trying to make it too detailed as well, just because well for one I don't know, I don't really care enough about doing it too detailed, or how can I say it more realistic. It's probably the best way to explain. Like I'm not trying to do something like Berserk, right? I'm not trying to do it like that. But I want it to be kind of like where it's I don't even know how to really explain it. But also another thing is like I want the art style to be good for animation because I don't want it to be too taxing for when they have to do that as well. Cause like sometimes, man, it could be hard. Like I just mentioned beforehand, like Berserk, like it's just nah that John's never getting like another animated show ever again. First off, well, because of, like the rating, like it's too much. Like I had to go read my Bible after I got done reading what was it, the Golden Age? Like that was yeah. After the eclipse, I had to go read my Bible again. There was no way, dude. I felt filthy. Oh, that was awful. Never again. But yeah. But I wanted to be kind of like Dragon Ball Z. Like I don't want to say it was Toriyama's art style exactly because I need to read the manga. I know I'm terrible. I never read the manga. I watched Dragon Ball, I watched DBZ, I watched Super, I watched GT, but I never like actually read the manga. So I really need to check out like what he did for the Cell and Boo saga because I know like the last video I did, I was like, yeah, I love like the Boo saga art style, but I think I was more talking about like the TV show, like the anime, uh, and mainly during like certain fights, like Goku versus Vegeta or Super Saiyan 2 Goku versus like Kid Buu, like that. Those are like peak, like art style wise and animation. Just because I like how fluid it was. Oh yeah, Goku versus Cell. That was also peak. Like that was you ain't beating those. But yeah, And also, I know, I think when I make the graphic novel, maybe not when I get to the comic series, uh, I would say it's more like a period piece too. So like there's certain music I want to make for it, and I know like oh I can always hire people. It's not the same. I mean I could, but I would have to make like at least some of the composition, or at least like lead them to like the right idea of like what type of music I'm looking for. And I don't want to spoil that either because I feel like it's not gonna give away the show, but it's such a unique vibe and aesthetic. Like I don't want to. I don't know. Like I don't have a problem with somebody like taking inspiration from it, but I want to do it first before I just start giving out all the details. But yeah, I guess now I'm gonna move on to just making like that basic stick figure, and then we'll call it a day. So like I said, I wanted to go kind of light today. I was like, and I probably still went over. I don't even know what the time count is at the moment, but it probably is like, oh yeah, it's at least like 30 minutes and maybe like 20 something. So, but hey, that's not a problem. So yeah. And honestly, I might start. I'm thinking about it. I might start doing more morning video, or not morning. I'm sorry, like afternoon, evening type videos. I might just do them like fresh in the morning or something. Not like super fresh, but maybe like 10 a.m. or something. Maybe 11. Cause I have time. Cause luckily my schedule this semester isn't super bad. So, but and right now I'm still working through like that second graphic novel because the first one I actually had to go do a rewrite of it because it was like I was doing kind of well and I just didn't vibe with the story, man. It was kind of iffy. I wasn't really liking it, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and restart it. Um, so yeah, but it's finished now. I like it. So I wanted like this or the graphic novel or like even the comic series, right? Like I wanted to make something that was like fun and anybody could really enjoy, but at the same time I wanted to have like not like a message, right? It's not some like, oh, like I'll say this, like my thing is like I feel like especially like with comics nowadays, they don't at least like during like a certain time period, right? Maybe not now, but like years but behind, like they didn't really like it wasn't really meant to tell a story, right? It was more to like send a message, whether it was like, like a political or like social issue. And I'm like, that's cool. But like, I don't know. It just never really vibed with me because the story was never good. And I was like, well, just make like an original character or something, do that. But my thing isn't really of like a social issue, but it's more of just like, I mean, I guess you could say it's like a social issue, but it's a social issue I think like um any group can really like relate to. And honestly, I think it's also what I'm doing now, right? Like it's just, following your dreams. I mean, it's cheesy, but it's just, like I always felt like, especially like as a maybe not like every African American, because we have like tons of rappers and stuff, but it always felt like I don't know, like you're always boxed in like a decision, like oh you have to go do this or you can do this, but it's never like oh how about you go ahead and try this. And there are people that are doing this. Like, it's not like I'm like the first or only black dude to ever make a comic or something. But I think what I'm really trying to do is like, you know, not really even show people, but just, start maybe like a trend or something. Like, everybody's like, oh yeah, hey, this dude's doing it. How come I can't? And then, they start doing it. Um, and we're just all improving, doing our own thing or something. So, but yeah. But yeah, the graphic novel. I mean, it relates with the comic. It's more of a, I guess I don't even want to call it like a prequel because I'm making it first. So it is like the original story. The comic is more like a sequel to it. But I want to say I actually had the comic in mind before I started the graphic novel. And then I was thinking, I'm like, well, my writing skills aren't the best. So I was like, I'm gonna just make the graphic novels first. And I know it's gonna sound crazy, like, oh, everybody's like, oh, you just started off making a like just like a regular 2 panel thing, and I am like, I'm gonna do that, but I think I really want to make like an actual complete solo story before I start making like a full on series that's gonna be like what maybe at least 100 plus issues. Like it's not even gonna be like like 20 or 30. This is like a full on like series, time skip and everything. So I mean, I'll give you like details here and there about it, but it ain't gonna be super big. Like I ain't gonna give you like complete story beats. But yeah. But yeah, I was just like, I think I was making the story for the comic series, and at first I was like, oh, like this is cool, and I think I also started like relating it with my life because I feel well, because I have like a job at a factory, right, just for now until I graduate college, and it was like it was kind of sad, honestly, like hearing people's stories about like, oh, I wanted to go do this, I wanted to go do that, and it was like like life just happened, and it just made me realize like I don't want to be that type of dude that just has to do that. So I was like, like I at least want to try, right? Because I think that's my problem. Like if I never try this, and we never know what could happen, right? Like this could all go south, and then I never draw ever again or something, or I maybe I make the graphic novels, but like I never get to make the comic series. But I at least want to try and just go as far and see as I can. Because if I don't do that, I'm not trying to be the dude that regrets living the living the life I did in like my 50s. So, but I mean, hey, it's a long road, so who knows? And honestly, I think I also need to get like a speech therapist or something because I don't know what happened, but I used to be so good at speaking until like COVID happened. And I think it was maybe just like that entire year or two, just like having no actual like in person interaction that just like ruined it. Like I can't really even speak super well as I used to, and it aggravates me. I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, a lot of stuff to work on. And I mean, hey, we're gonna do it. So, but yeah. Otherwise, the stick figure is not super good, but I mean, hey, starting somewhere as always. It's not bad either. So I think what I'm gonna do next time. I mean, well, I already said next time is just gonna be like more of a. It's probably gonna be chill like this, but I'm not gonna really be focusing on trying to do anatomy. I think I'm gonna focus on that a little bit on like my off time. I'm gonna watch a couple videos. Um, I'm gonna see exactly like what you would do for it, and then maybe I'll probably try to do like one male and one female figure like every day. And then like once I'm good enough, I'm gonna start like taking like actual like poses like of models and stuff like that, and I'll try drawing that. But we'll see how it goes. I think the real tough part is probably gonna be clothing. I mean, I don't think clothing is that bad, but I don't know. It's weird because like I want like my character. I'll say this. I'll give you some details, right? I know I keep saying I'm not gonna give you all the details, but I'll give you some. So the main character, he has like a superhero persona. So like he's always wearing like a mask all the time. So I think like I gotta draw a mask, and I think I keep saying, I keep repeating words all the time. Like I think yada yada yada. But Spider Man is probably the closest inspiration I have for the actual mask itself. But I don't know why. It's weird. So I think I also just need to work on drawing faces too, like just in general, because my faces aren't, or my heads. Sorry, my heads aren't really like the best. So I also got to work on that too. But I mean, it's not bad. This one isn't bad, surprisingly. So But yeah, I think I draw too many masculine faces. I probably need to work on more, uh, you know, female faces. More women. I don't draw enough women. Like, funny enough, I don't. I don't know, because I'm not trying to be like one of those artists that only draw like one type of woman. And it like Oda. Like if you look at One Piece, literally take Nami and change the hair, and it's the same character. Like half of them are. But yeah, so but hey, it's gonna be a journey. It might get a little bit aggravating. But I always say like, especially if you want growth in life, if you're not feeling uncomfortable and if you're not struggling, you're not learning and you're not getting better. I'll say that. I say comfort is probably like the worst thing you can do in case you're trying to improve. But that's just for me. Might not be the same for everybody. But yeah. So everyone, that's day 3. Thanks for coming around. If anybody does, if not, thank me for being here. So, but yeah. Otherwise, I'll see you guys later.